On today's boss list, we're going to be taking down the Yellow Wind Sage. For this fight, he's bringing in a 3-pronged spear, and that head in his hand, it'll come into play later on in the story. The thing that we need to pay attention to is that spear. So to get ready for this fight, I suggest the following spells: a Pluck of Many, Immobilize, Gangamu for your spirit, and Gazani for your transformation spell. In your foundation skills underneath stamina, make sure that you have Composure unlocked. Dodging will no longer interrupt light attacks. This is extremely important when you're trying to stagger this boss. If you have any buffs, throw those on as well. Attack, defense, crit, anything like that you like to use is all good here. Now once you get into the fight, immediately cast a Pluck of Many. If you're like me and you didn't beat him the first time, he'll still be talking while you're casting a spell. It'll give you some time to close the distance and start getting some damage in. And don't forget about your minions behind you. Cast Immobilize to give them some time to join the fight. If everybody's doing the job, you might even stagger him. But eventually, he'll break out and he'll start swinging that spear around. When he swings the spear, it has a large radius. Do your best to stay near his feet, and when he attacks, dodge towards his feet and stay as close as possible to him. Now he will stomp with his feet, so make sure you don't dodge into his feet. Cast Gangamu as early as you can to try to get that poison damage. Now the one thing that you want to be listening for is his audio cue. He'll start to yell and spin his spear around his head. When he does this, I suggest you turn into Gazani right away. You might be able to get some damage in, but the main point of this is to dodge. The Sage will spin up some winds and then he'll transform into a sand-like form. And you can't do any damage to him while he's like this. He'll jump in and out of the arena, swiping at you. You just need to dodge and wait until he comes back into his regular form. And once he does, put the pressure on. Stay close even as he jumps around and try to build up some burn damage. Now we can do an attack where he pulls up spears from the ground, and he has a stomp attack as well to try to protect himself while you're close. You can see the ground spear attack coming when he swipes with his spear and then his hand glows yellow, and you can see the stomp attack when he raises his leg up and holds it for a second, then comes back down. You also want to look out for his quick swipe attacks. It can be very hard to see coming. He'll just turn around, dive, and swipe at you. If you see him raise his head up in the air and yell, that means he's calling out one of his minions from the ground to raise up and then smash back down onto the ground. I suggest to dodge this by trying to dodge right when the camera starts to indicate that he's coming down. This is a delayed attack and it pays off to be patient. If you see his hands start to glow yellow, he's about to smash it into the ground and follow it up with a spear smash. Back up from this, and once the attack's finished, you can use Cloud Step to close the distance, stagger the boss, then even follow that up with Immobilize for some more damage. Now as you lower the boss's health, he'll start to get more frantic and you may find yourself in a bad position in front of one of his feet. The Yellow Wind Sage's grab may be one of the most disrespectful grabs in the game, and it does a ton of damage. And he normally won't give you too much of a break after this attack, so do your best to dodge or use Cloud Step to make sure you give yourself some time to heal. When he smashes his spear into the ground and starts spinning his hands around his head, you can sneak some damage in, but just don't stay too long because what he's doing is raising up tornadoes. If you get too close to these tornadoes, they'll launch you up into the air. And at this point, you should notice that the big head has returned, and he's gonna use it to turn back into a sand form. Just like before, you can't do any damage to him while he's in this form. When he attacks, watch out for his spear swipe and when he lands. This is a 2-part attack, and when he comes back into his normal form, you may think it's time to put that pressure on, but he'll jump back outside of the arena, and you won't be able to touch him. And what's even worse is that he has a similar attack to the Tiger Vanguard boss that we fought previously. He has a Wind Slash ability where he throws wind blades at you and they can hit you from range. Do your best to get damage in whenever he enters back into the arena. If he jumps outside of the arena, be careful not to chase too much because those tornadoes can catch you off guard. Some of the best times to do attacks is when he does his smash attacks. And don't forget about your composure skill. You can start a light attack, dodge, and then finish the combo and stagger him. These are some of the best ways to get some damage in because when he's staggered, you could always get maybe 1 or 2 hits in and then get back out. Just keep on starting that rotation up by doing a light attack into a dodge and then into a full combo with the stagger. Watch your time, look out for those tornadoes, and watch out for this boss's attacks because he's a sneaky one. Let me know down in the comments what was the most disrespectful grab that you've seen so far from a boss in Black Myth Wukong. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one and learned something new. I'll catch you in the next one.
You disciple, you're a fool. You stole Erlang's spell and snatched the great sage's relic. Yeah,